What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 8. And if you have not been keeping up with everything going on with Superman, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Superman ever since Dark Knight's death metal. But with Jonathan's father away on Warworld trying to free some slaves, Jonathan has been left behind to protect Metropolis, to be the Superman of Earth while he is away. And since day one, Jonathan has been met with challenge after challenge, with his enemies always being one step ahead of him, with him still trying to grasp this understanding of being Superman, of what he wants to be and what he wants to represent. We last left him facing off against a Leviathan. With the help of Aqualad, they're hoping to deter this monster before it takes out the city. Now, be sure to buy the comics, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up off the coast of Metropolis. And this entire issue, we have Jay, aka The Truth. He is doing a news broadcast letting the world know that the media outlets that are being pushed by Lex Luthor and President Bendix, that these are fabrications of the truth. The truth is that Superboy, he did everything he could to save as many people as possible when this Leviathan had attacked. And that's where we're picking up in the middle of the battle. And with Superman going in to save one of these individuals from the Gamorra Corps, people sent by President Bendix to take on the Leviathan, trying to prove once and for all that nobody needs Superman or Superboy. But in this battle, one of the Gamorra Corps go down, and Superboy takes him and brings him back to the city, brings him back to the shore, tells the rest of the Gamorra Corps that they need to stand by. And as soon as he makes his exit, President Bendix says that they need to attack that monster and kill it before it hits Metropolis. And so without hesitation, the Gamorra Corps, they open fire. And Jonathan is able to hear this all the way from the shoreline. Recognizing that they started to engage, he tries to hurry back as fast as he possibly can. With Aqualad trying to stop them the best he can, both of them are too late. We see the Leviathan, he goes to attack the ones attacking him, and in doing so jumps out of the ocean, propelling itself up into the air. The Leviathan, it does not defy gravity, and because of that, it comes falling back down. With it falling down back to the earth, landing in the ocean, with how ginormous this thing is, it causes a tidal wave. And that wave begins to pick up some traction, and we have a tsunami headed directly for Metropolis. And so now our two heroes, they have to devise a plan to stop this wave. With Aqualad trying with all his power to slow this thing down, it is not going to be enough to disperse it before it hits the city. Letting Jonathan know that he needs to create some kind of sound strong enough to break this wave up. And without skipping a beat, we see Jonathan fly to the ocean floor, getting ahead of this wave, taking all of the strength that he has. He claps as hard as he can underwater. He claps so hard, it sends a shockwave reverberating outwards directly towards this tidal wave. And it hits the wave strong enough to be able to disperse it. It slows down the tsunami, but not enough. And so while Superman was able to fend off absolute destruction of the city, there are still many out there that are in danger. And so without skipping any beats, we see him take off and he starts rescuing as many people as he possibly can. And with him freezing most of the water, getting it to stop dead in its tracks, the city did take a significant amount of damage. But the Leviathan is still out there, and the Gamorra Corps, they are still trying to kill this thing. And as the second member of the Gamorra Corps goes down, the Gamorra Corps remaining members, they are ready and they are out for blood, with them charging in, going to give the killing blow. This is where we see the arrival of Superman. Jonathan coming in and stopping her dead in her tracks, letting her know that this thing, it has intelligence. The only reason it has surfaced is because of all the activity that is going on in the bottom of the ocean, laying dormant for thousands of years. We have caused its awakening, and right now it's terrified, it's scared, and it is angry. And while I understand your frustration, our goal should not be killing this thing, but pushing it back out to the ocean. And so President Bendix, calling off his men, Aqualad and Superboy, they are now trying to figure out what to do, with Jonathan going to the bottom of the ocean, pulling out as much ground as he can. He is using this to push the Leviathan out the opposite direction towards the ocean. With Aqualad's help, the two of them are able to get it far enough out, and then we have the arrival of Aquaman, with Aquaman thanking them for saving the Leviathan's life, and letting them both know that because of them, the Leviathan is going to be able to live, and they are going to find a safe place for it to remain for the rest of its life. And so this is the day that Jonathan Kent, he saved Metropolis. But even him saving the city, it came at a heavy cost. There were still lives that were lost. And these lives, President Bendix, he uses to his advantage. And he lets the world know that Superman, Jonathan Kent, he could have stopped all of this. He could have killed that Leviathan simply by flying through its brain. Now, of course, this is not something that Superman or Superboy would ever do to something like a Leviathan. They would try every other way before killing it. But the city, the people, the news, they are only seeing one thing, that lives were lost and Superman failed. And though they don't understand how hard Jonathan actually takes this, we pick up the next day and President Bendix is doing his presentation. The presentation of what comes next. Letting the people know that they can't rely on superheroes, on aliens any longer. That yesterday's actions by Superman and the lives lost are a prime example of them not doing enough. He also uses the fact that Superman is a new, inexperienced Superman compared to his predecessor. And so because of that, they're saying that he is not up to the task. He is not the Superman that they need. And that they should no longer rely on Supermen. They should no longer rely on vigilantes, on Batman. They need to rely on themselves, on the governments, on their armies. That they no longer need the Justice League. They need to stand up and have their own line of defense. And so he reveals to the world our post-humans, saying that he has been working on this operation for many years, and it is now finally coming to fruition, saying this is essentially the Suicide Squad, but much improved, because their soldiers, they are the next stage. They are perfect, and these are not loose cannons, completely under the control of President Bendix. He says that they are effectively drones, that he can talk through them. He can manipulate them and use them in any manner he chooses. And with these, nations will finally have power yet again. They will destroy and discredit the aliens and Amazons alike. This will replace the ocean dwellers and the Dark Knights. This is how they take back their world. This is what he refers to as the Rising. Now that is where we pick up a little bit later, and we have Jay and Jonathan sitting atop a roof, with Jonathan watching the broadcast that Jay had done, really just saying thank you, because while everyone out here is criticizing Superman for not doing a good job, of course this criticism is all led by Lex Luthor and President Bendix. Jonathan really is appreciative of having someone out there, someone on his side. But after a lot of real hard thinking, Jonathan has decided that he is going to join up with Jay and his resistance group. Because the truth is, he really is one of the most recognizable individuals on the entire planet. And so because of that, he wants to be unseen. And with the resistance group, everybody wears a mask. And so this is truly giving him the opportunity to be unknown, but also doing the best he can to help others out. Help others out in a way that doesn't involve him being Superman. Well, he is definitely not setting that mantle down. He is gonna live the double life. But now Jonathan is finally ready to learn more about these organizations, what they do, and how to take them down. Because he already tried once charging in at President Bendix, and that was an utter failure for him. And this is where the Rising begins. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I was a little bit worried to see what the Rising was, but now that we're seeing it's the Gamorra Corps, you know, it's not something that we haven't seen in comic books before. But if there were ever a time to try to introduce something like this, with Clark Kent being off planet, this gives them the prime opportunity to say, look, this new Superman is inexperienced, he causes chaos, he wasn't able to save people, look at how he is failing us. This is the prime opportunity for people like Lex Luthor and President Bendix to take their agendas and really put them into action. One of the things I really find hard to believe is that everyone is just gonna jump on board with President Bendix's idea. You know, how would you create post-humans? How would no one ask that question? You're saying they're essentially cyborgs. What does essentially cyborgs, essentially drones mean? Because to me, right off the bat, hearing that information is sounding like you were experimenting on people and turning them into drones. And I can't imagine that the nations of the world are gonna get on board with this. Now, if he were strictly just doing this to bad guys, if he were offering this up to just the bad guys, to just the villains, I may be able to get behind on that. But from the context, it appears that he is talking to a huge people, that it appears to be some kind of press conference. So he is announcing to the world that they have been experimenting and creating post-humans. While he doesn't get into the details, that essentially proves everything that Jay has been saying to be true. Everything the truth has been divulging about Gamorra is in fact reality. And how anybody could be able to look past that detail, it absolutely baffles me. But we'll see how this goes. It's definitely been an interesting run so far, and we're gonna see if Tom Taylor can really nail the landing, or if this is just gonna end up flopping. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.